Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to RBN Hardware. In today's video, I want to show you guys how to build the best budget, future-proof $550 gaming PC build for 2022, aiming for the maximum value for money. I'm specifically picking PC parts you should be able to find in stock here. Now I'm gonna show you guys step by step how to build this cheap gaming PC, all the component choices, explaining why I think they will be great fits for this build. And to give you guys an idea how this PC build performs, I've tested a total of 40 games, including some of you guys' favorite ones like Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite, Battlefield 2042 and FIFA 22 to name a few. Now to give you even more confidence in this PC build, we're gonna go over plenty of benchmarks, side-by-side comparisons and much more. Now for best pricing of each PC part, have a look in the description where you find everything listed. So let's dive into the build. And let's start having a look at the motherboard, SSD, RAM and CPU. And for the processor, I've gone for the $99 4-core Ryzen 3 3100, perhaps one of the best budget 4-core 8-thread gaming processors currently available. Now as we can see, the 3100 delivers high frame rate and stutter-free gameplay, even in games such as Forza Horizon 5. Now this is a fantastic CPU, especially when you pair it up with a budget 1080p GPU. Now right now there does seem to be a low stock issue for the CPU, and if you cannot seem to find the 3100 in stock, I recommend having a look at the 1600 AF, which practically is a rebranded 6-core Ryzen 5 2600 for just $150. You find this CPU also linked up down below. Moving on to the motherboard, and this is sort of the component that connects everything together. Now this is one area where you can save a bit of money. Now for this $550 build, I really done my homework here, trying to find the best budget motherboard for Ryzen. Now this B450M board from Gigabyte is packed with everything you need, and it even supports Ryzen 5000 through a free BIOS update. Now right now Amazon is having a sale on this similar board from Asus, and so therefore this is also an option here. You find both boards linked up down below. So with that said, let's open up our CPU box and install our processor. You guys have probably seen this a few times before by now, but you simply want to pair up the triangle located at the lower left side corner with the triangle on the motherboard socket. Pull back the arm, line up the triangles, simply drop the CPU, return the metal arm back down, and that is about it. Now to keep the cost down, we're gonna use the included stock cooler that comes included with our CPU. Now I know that a few of you guys have been worrying about temperatures with the stock cooler, but as you guys can see, the CPU is running nice and cool with our CPU, so yeah, no worries about that. Look for the 4 pre-installed screw holes around this socket, and you simply want to match up those with the 4 spring screws on the cooler with the AMD logo facing the I/O and the heatsink. Thermal paste comes included, so yeah, you don't have to worry about that since I've been using mine before. I have to apply a bit of thermal paste, and then we can simply just go ahead and secure the heatsink. Now if you're getting any value out of this video and you want videos more often, please guys smash the like button, subscribe and turn on the notifications bell so that you know exactly when new content is released. Next up then, we're gonna move on to system RAM, and here I'm going for this Corsair kit with 16 GB. In terms of budget here, I recommend spending between $65 to $70 on the RAM kit. Now as you guys can see, opting for a slightly faster RAM kit, we can gain a few more FPS compared to a slower kit, so that is why we are aiming for a 3200 MHz kit here. Pull back the toggle for the second and the fourth DIMM slots, and the Corsair logo should be facing the cooler. Now before we go ahead and take a look at the case choice, let's first install our storage. Samsung once again got us covered here, and this is their 980 SSD. Again, yes, I am demonstrating on another device. You do however find the right one at the best price linked up down below. And with that said, we can finally move on to our case choice for today's PC build. Now this is the Fantex P360A, a budget mid-tower with addressable RGB and a perforated front, allowing for maximum cooling potential. With a price tag of $70, this is by far one of my top favorite budget cases that I've built in so far. We find a dual fan setup in the front, and this is more than enough for today's PC build. Fantex has also fitted the case with a LED strip along the side, and the strip plus the fans are addressable through the bottom at the front. Now there is no plastic here, only quality materials have been used, and everything feels expensive with this product, and I'm very positive to Fantex as a brand overall. I cannot recommend this case enough. So let's go ahead and get rid of the side panel and install this metal plate thing called the IO shield. Make sure you pop this in the same way as I'm doing, with the circular holes at the bottom, and then we can just go ahead and slide in the motherboard. We find 6 screw holes here, 2 at the top, 2 at the middle and 2 at the bottom. Grab the power supply, install it with the fans facing down. A step-by-step cable management guide is linked up down below. Once we've got all cables hooked up to the motherboard, we can finally take a look at our GPU choice. This is the GTX 970, based on Nvidia's highly popular Maxwell architecture, released all the way back in 2014. And yeah, I know what you're thinking, guys. A 7-year-old graphics card? You gotta be kidding. Well, hear me out here, guys. Nvidia still supports the 90-gen GPUs, so new drivers are being released all the time, and on top of that, the GPU also supports the X12, and it's fitted with 4GB of VRAM, and this is actually enough to game at 1080p. But let's be a little bit more specific. How does the 970 handles modern games? I was very curious, so I decided to test a ton of games. For all of the games tested, guys, we are looking at 1080p low to medium settings. Now for additional gameplay and for my full 40 game massive benchmark, you'll find a video linked up down below. As we can see, we're almost at 60 FPS across the board here. Now I'm not only testing all games here. We have Forza Horizon 5 delivering respectable frame rate, still looking beautiful at 1080p medium settings. Doom Eternal, another game, also runs great on the 970. Age of Empires 4 at 1080p low settings is running great, as well as FIFA 22 is no problem for this GPU either. I also decided to test Battlefield 2042 as well as Halo Infinite. For Battlefield 2042, for example, I would say that a 4-core CPU is a bare minimum, and I would highly recommend you guys opting for a 6-core CPU if you are interested in that game specifically. But overall, as you guys can see, very impressive numbers here. Also, we need to discuss the GPU shortage. By now, you guys know it is almost impossible to pick up a graphics card right now. The never-ending GPU shortage is unfortunately not over yet. That is partly why the 970 is a good bet. Thanks to the fact that the 970 isn't very popular among miners, it can be picked up quite cheap on eBay. In fact, with scattering the platform, we can see that this graphics card is selling between $110 to $200. I recommend not spending anything more than $150 as the top limit here. You'll find a link to eBay listed down below. Now, if you do want to pick up a brand new GPU instead, without breaking the bank, I recommend having a look at the 1650 Super or the 1660. And with that said, here is what the final part list is looking like, and you guys find all parts listed down below. If you don't want to miss my next budget PC build, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like or the dislike, and I will see you guys in the next video.